नमस्कार, मैं हूँ बॉबी और स्वागत है आपका हीरो लाइफ में। आज हम बड़े सेंसिटिव टॉपिक पे बात करेंगे जिसके बारे में लोग सोचते ही रहते, बात कोई नहीं करना चाहता एक्चुअली। इट्स अबाउट चाइल्डहुड मोस्टली। ओके, जहाँ से शुरुआत होती है हमारी इंडिविजुअल कहानी की। हमारी हर चीज़, जो भी हम जितने भी बड़े बन जाए, हम जहाँ भी पहुँच जाए ज़िंदगी में, कुछ चीज़ें हैं जो पैटर्न बनकर हमारे लाइफ से जुड़ी रहती है और वो बचपन से आती है। और कितने लोग हैं जो हम बैठ के ये सोचते हैं कि अरे ये कहाँ से आ रहा है, या ये दिक्कत हो रही है, मुझे इस रिश्ते में दिक्कत हो रही है। किसी भी चीज़ को हम बारीकी से नहीं देखना चाहते, वी डोंट वांट टू गो दैट डीपर और फाइंड द रीजन, बट समवेयर एवरीथिंग और मोस्ट ऑफ द थिंग्स आर अटैच्ड टू आवर चाइल्डहुड। क्यों कर रही हूँ ये बात? बिकॉज आज हमारे साथ है एनएलपी कोच, फाउंडर मिराक, माइंडसेट कोच भी कह सकते हैं उनको, और मेरे दिल के बहुत करीब है, मेरी दोस्त। आइए स्वागत करते हैं गार्गी जी का। स्वागत है आपका गार्गी जी।
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here, and I think to sit in front of you and कहाँ शुरू किया था? डिब्रूगढ़ के लिटिल फ्लावर स्कूल के प्लेग्राउंड से लेके यहाँ तक, it's been such an honor, and I'm so happy to be sitting here in front of you.
Oh God, you don't know, like no words.
Yes.
Anyways, तो ये जो journey, like the journey that you had from corporate to like that entire shift from last 7 years, that you've shift from corporate, 25 years on corporate, and then been in this journey that you are, right? Where and how, what did actually happen or
What
inspired
happened?
you? Yeah, what
I
happened?
call it life happened. But what really, so you're right. I have 25 साल से काम कर रही थी, and in different companies, amazing companies that I've worked with,
Yeah.
have grown up the ladder quite fast. But कहीं ना कहीं ये था that, because you are a part of a world which is probably not nice to you all the time.
Yeah.
You can call it toxic at some point.
Okay.
But and it's a thing that happens everywhere. It's something that you cannot do without, because that's how the business is.
Hmm.
And it works for a lot of people, and it worked for me as well. Um, I found a lot of happiness in doing the job that I was doing.
Okay.
Made me believe in myself, made me feel worthy of doing something, because उससे पहले जब स्कूल में थे, then I didn't know I could do a job, or I could be the senior VP of a company, so that was very special for me. That being said, I think I reached a stage where I was becoming one of those rich people who only had money, and that didn't work for me. And
Okay.
I felt like there is more to what I seek, there's more to what I chase, what I want from my life, and what I want to contribute towards the world. I think that became more important for me.
Okay.
And I realized, like, the way it happened for me, the way my healing journey started, I felt a lot of people in the corporate world or outside needed that help. And that's where the shift began. And that's where I started. And that's when I decided that, okay, no longer the rat race, and we got to do something different. So here I am with Mirak.
Okay. And Mirak, like it's from 7 years, right? That you have found Mirak, or you're working around it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, as therapy, like as a therapist, okay, what do you see? Like, there are people coming. You have like cured. I would use the word cured or guided, or show them the light or maybe the torch. More than 500 people. So, what are the common thing, or what is actually the common thing that people come with?
Um, all kinds of things. It's very difficult to sort of pinpoint on one
Okay.
particular problem, but I'll actually take the question in a little different way.
Okay.
In the
Cool.
sense that when I meet people, or when people come and seek help, um, what we realize is that people generally in our day-to-day lives, be it in a corporate world, be it a housewife, be it anyone in this world, just go about with life. go about with the flow,
Yeah.
and did we hardly realize, and that includes me, 10 years back, that includes me as well, where we don't really realize what is going on inside of us, and we just go about with life. Sometimes we also become the victim of our own life and blame it on others, saying that इसकी वजह से ये हो गया मेरी लाइफ में, या मेरे साथ ये कैसे हो गया, and
Yeah.
things like that, right? And that becomes a part of us, but we don't really pay attention to what is going on inside us,
Hmm.
and hence not take responsibility to change things about us. Only then the outside world will change. You
Absolutely.
cannot go ahead and change the world. You
Yeah.
cannot go ahead and change the way your boss treats you, or you
Exactly.
cannot change the way your relationships are, or the people around you are. What you can change by taking responsibility is your inner story, your narrative about yourself,
Hmm.
and the experiences that you have had during your childhood shapes up the personality that you are today. That does not mean that is who you are in authentically and truly.
Hmm.
So when people come to me, I feel the common thing is that they want to start taking responsibility of what is going on inside them and change that. And I think that is the most powerful thing one can do for themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Acknowledging is the 50%
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
done when you acknowledge that, okay, I have to get a therapy or I need to talk about it.
Yes. Yes. I think yeah, that's the most powerful thing that you can do for yourself, I feel.
Okay. And childhood, the work that you're doing, right? The
Yeah.
childhood trauma patterns, you're working around that. So we would like to know more about it, what it
Okay.
is actually.
Um so when we grow up, we don't okay, let me rephrase that. When we grow up, there is an external environment that we have.
Hmm.
And when I say external environment, it means the house that we are growing up in, the parents, the cousins, the friends, the school, the teachers, all of that, right? And as a child, you are exposed to all of these experiences. um, Now when you as a child experience something very overwhelming, which your brain is not able to process, or your brain is not able to make any sense or logic out of that situation, the child sort of takes a decision for themselves. And
Okay.
I'll give you examples.
Yeah, sure.
Let's say there's a 5-year-old girl, and goes to school, very good with academics and stuff like that, but she really badly wanted to be a part of a drama, or a role that she wanted in a play in school. She was expecting that she would get picked up as the main lead, but did not. And this is a real life example that I've worked on, right? But she does not get picked up for the role that she wanted.
Hmm.
Instead, was given another role. Now, as a child, as a 5-year-old, 6-year-old child, what do you take inside? What you take inside is that, oh, I'm not good enough, right? Or you say that I am not good at things that are outside my comfort zone, right? Now this is a 6-year-old child. It is an overwhelming situation, and that is what trauma is. Now, can you control all of these overwhelming situations for a child? Absolutely not,
Absolutely
right?
not. Yeah.
But can you know and all of these things sort of shows up in your adult life as somebody, like for this example, for this client of mine who came to me, she was not able to do anything uh, bigger
Hmm.
for herself in terms of career and things like that, because for her, getting out of her comfort zone and trying to do something new was very uncomfortable, because she thought that, oh, I'm great at what I'm doing, so I don't want to try something new and fail in it, because remember, I failed in it before,
Yeah.
and so I don't want to try this, right? So that's how childhood trauma works. I know trauma is a very big word, and people at home also don't want to use
Want to use and
the
like
trauma,
to
but
hear about
yeah,
themselves. Yeah.
yeah, because it sounds so negative and sounds so big. But my point is that everyone does go through an overwhelming situation, which is trauma. And it shows up in your adult life, in your relationships, in your decision making, in your ability to know your own potential. It shows up in all of these situations when you grow up, right?
Okay.
So that's what childhood
So
trauma
as a
is.
parent, what how would you would like to tell our audience that how do they deal with their growing up children around?
Very, very good question. And I struggle with that myself with my 15-year-old, because whatever I see happening around him makes me so nervous that, oh, this might give him this kind of trauma and things like that. Um, but I came to peace with the fact that I can't control what is going on around him,
Exactly.
right? And it is his journey. He will learn something. But as a parent, and I would say this to all parents, that no matter what you do, no matter what your child does, no matter what circumstances and experiences that he or she had,
Mm.
please make sure that as a parent, I try to be the safe place for my
Sure.
child, you know. And when I say safe place, just keep repeating and reiterating the fact and make the child feel that no matter what you do, I'm here for you, I'm your safe place, and I love you. That's it. That's the best that we can do as human beings and as parents, you know. So I think that should solve for most of the problem. But beyond a point, um, you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, because parents are actually struggling. They are struggling with their own piece of stress.
Yeah,
They come back home stressed with their work, and the child wants to talk or whatever. They just go unseen or
yeah,
unheard.
yeah,
Unheard is the perfect word that I think that I also have felt that it's somehow in my childhood. So yeah, feeling unheard. Um,
yeah.
so
And we all go through this. And you know, also the fact that it's not our parents' fault. My mom, I remember it is a traumatic experience for me to come back from school and open the lock of the door myself, because my mom was working, my dad was working, and she's, I grew up with parents who were academically very, very great, and they had a life of their own, they had a career of their own, and that's probably one of the reasons why I chose this life for myself. Otherwise, I remember when I was in college, I did not think of myself to be ambitious about my career and stuff like that. But I grew up with those kind of with that kind of parents. But um, do I blame them? No, I don't. But did I experience that
void.
void when I was a child? Yes, I did. And somewhere, without even and this has no logic as a child, right? But somewhere I was resentful to go through that experience because uh, they were away. Yeah, but I don't blame them. But I know that now, not
Yeah,
as a child,
of
right?
course. Yeah.
So the thing is that you have to be aware of, uh, one has to be aware of all of these things that really happens in the mind, really goes on without even you noticing them. And
Hmm.
this is the reason why a lot of misery and suffering happens in our
Happens.
life, as
Exactly.
an adult. Um, but the point is that you can change all of this. And
Exactly.
that's the
There
most
where I wanted to come now. How do we change that?
yeah, and that's the most beautiful part of it is during my healing process, I or my journey, my therapist went into, peeled every layer of onion in me to go to the core of it to understand where is my guilt coming from. And I was functioning from a space of guilt, shame, because of all the childhood traumas that I had, right? Not thinking enough about of me, so I was functioning from that space. And you really are able to go to the core of it, and she helped me do that. Um, and my mission in life is now to help people go to their core and find out what is it that went wrong, or what was that overwhelming situation that made them who they are today. I keep telling people that who you think that you are today is not something that you were born with. It is a mind.
Mind thing,
Your
yeah.
mind is programmed from a very early age to think that you're not good enough, that this is too much for you. You can't be too much. थोड़ा कम करो अपने आप को. Don't be so loud, you know. So all of that. So everything that is limiting you today is not who you are. There is a way you can change it by changing the way your mind behaves. There is a so because of all of these experiences in life, your mind is trained and programmed to behave in a certain way. And let me give you an
Yeah,
example to
like
make it
conditioning. Yeah,
conditioning,
like,
right? So,
yeah,
okay, let me give you an example. Um, you know how to ride a bicycle, you learn it
yeah.
and you don't forget it, right? Now, let's say you have had uh, experiences in your life which made you feel uh, that you're not good enough. And this is me not being good enough is one of the most common problem that people
Go
have.
through,
You
yeah.
know, it's just so common, and that's why I'm talking about it. So the your brain is trained to say that, okay, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, right? Um, then comes a point when you become aware that a lot of things in your life is getting limited, or you are getting limited, because here is your mind is telling you, or the chatter inside you is telling you that you're not good enough. But is it true? No, it's not true. How do I change this? So what I do is I use a lot of NLP techniques, like you used in my
Introduction.
introduction. I use a lot of NLP techniques. I use a lot of deliberate thought building tools and processes through which you, one, identify what are your limiting beliefs, and then go back and solve for it. So I give you tools to say that, okay, this is the way you retrain your mind to say that, no, I'm good, you know, and I'm capable. There was this one client. She's a celebrity down south, beautiful girl, you know, is in the movie business and all of that. She kept getting great work for herself, but somewhere she was thinking that this is the best that can happen for me, but I'm not worthy of it,
Okay, unworthiness.
right? Again, that obviously came from a childhood trauma where she felt like she's the second best and she only deserves the second best options. She should be settling down for less than what
Lesser.
she gets, right? That made her say no and reject offers that came her way because she thought that this is too good for me. I
Okay,
don't deserve this. So I'll go for the second best, right? The good news is she became aware that this is happening to her.
okay.
Yeah. A lot of people think that this is who we are. This is a part of my personality. This is who I am. This is my character.
And
Because
this
we
is how
don't,
it's going to be forever.
and this is how it's going to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely, right? We don't pay attention that this actually stems and roots from something else. And because it is your mind who is trained to do that, you can change the program in the mind
Yeah.
by using the tools that I teach during my sessions, and that's how people have benefited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, are people really um, outspoken about things? Because that's where people struggle, right? That I have a problem and I need to go talk to somebody. Do you think that there's a particular reason for it, that people are like fear of judgment, or what is it?
Yeah, I don't feel like people are open to discussing
Discussing
things.
things.
I'm a part of a lot of Facebook groups where it's like a community, a support group, and stuff like that, people don't come out
Okay.
easily because it needs a lot of courage. It needs a lot of courage, and there is no denying to it. And that's the reason why when people find that little courage to come and speak to someone, or and when they come to me and I can talk about this as a part of the healer community, that we all try and give that safe place to people of not being judgmental, and that's where we try and make sure that they the people who come to us, because we acknowledge that courage that they come with, and
Yeah,
it takes a lot to come out and talk about it,
it
right?
does.
So yeah.
I know that, can relate to.
Yeah.
So next, I would like to, yeah, how does this work? Like, it's one-on-one sessions are you working on completely, or there are workshops also? A kind
So
of
I
like,
do both.
okay,
I do both. I do more of one-on-one sessions, and these can be online, offline, both. Online is as effective as offline, which is surprising, but yeah,
yeah,
but it is happening. I think COVID taught us that, people to get comfortable with what they have, and online is as effective because most of my clients that I speak to are not in the city, or not in the country
yeah,
sometimes. um, so yeah, I do that, and then I also do webinars and workshops and things like that.
okay,
um, so there's something very very interesting that I'm working on right now with a partner of mine, where we are working on a webinar, a workshop kind of a thing, 3 to 4 days workshop, where we talk about transformation inside out. So I'm working on the mindset transformation, and this partner of mine is working on image consulting, which is to
okay,
say that, okay, now that you have changed your mindset, you're this powerful, confident person.
okay,
Um, you're there to, kill it in the world and stuff like that. How do you project yourself
mm,
outside, right?
okay,
So it's a beautiful combination that we are trying to create. So yeah, hopefully people would accept that.
okay.
Yeah.
So workshops, like, how, what kind of workshop would you try to?
Workshops in the sense that, so we it's a one to many kind of a workshop, right?
Okay,
So there would be corporates who would come and talk about, okay, there's this group of people that we want to make sure that we coach them for the next level and
okay,
stuff like that.
that way.
So, and then there would be corporates who would come and talk about how do we make sure that my first time managers are also effective,
Okay,
because they are first time managers. They need to have a certain kind of mindset to be able to deal with hundreds of people that they are managing for the first time, right? So there is a mindset that they need to tune into, and I help the organization send that message across to those people, and then help them build those kind of a mindset. So
okay,
yeah, so that those are like workshops that I do at a corporate level. Webinars also is where I teach people different tools and techniques that they can use in their day to day lives,
okay,
um, to become more powerful and have a fulfilled life. So that's that. One on one sessions obviously are more customized, more in
individually.
depth.
Okay,
Yeah. So that's what happened.
okay. So Gargi, like what the work you're doing, okay, and helping so many people, and the therapies or the tools that we are talking about here, ये actually किसके लिए है? सबके लिए, पर्टिकुलर किसी तरह के लोगों के लिए, who actually needs it the most?
I feel everyone needs it.
I agree.
Everyone needs it, right?
Yeah.
But the way, okay, because of my almost half of my life in a corporate world, I feel like I will be able to help uh, that section of people much better. So I get a lot of clients who's working in a corporate, because and because they want to change things about themselves, because they realize they cannot change the outside world.
Hmm.
They will have to change things inside. And like I said, there are different kinds of elements that happens in the corporate world. You have to get a promotion every year. You have to deal with um, difficult bosses,
Competitions.
competition, right? The salaries, all of that. There is just so much
Pressure.
pressure. Some pressure is there, there's no denying, but there are some pressures that we unnecessarily create for ourselves, so that we are we get the external validation. I want to help those people. I understand what goes on there. I understand what goes on in the minds of people who's working for corporates. So I want to help them. And that's the kind of people. So the way I design my programs, the way I design my webinars,
Yeah.
etc., is targeted to sort of help those people. And the other section of people, which is very very close to my heart, is women who are above 35.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and that's very interesting, I know, because I feel that we are nurturers, right? We are born nurturers, and because of that quality in us, or because we've been told that we are nurturers, we play so many roles, and we constantly keep giving, right?
Exactly.
And I work with so many women. I have worked with so many women now. 70% of my clients are actually women, and I feel like while they spend a lot of time playing those roles in their lives, they forget who they are in the process.
Re- so relatable, yeah.
Yeah, you live for your children, you live for the job that you're doing,
Yeah.
right? You live for to be the perfect daughter, the daughter-in-law, so many roles that we keep playing, and the only thing that we keep doing unknowingly is to just keep giving.
Yeah.
And I'm actually on a mission to help women to find the same love that she's giving outside, to find that love inside, inward, turn that inward, to find her own power and her own magic, right? And I believe in it. Every woman has a magic and a power of their own, and I really really believe in it. So I'm on this sort of a small, in my head there is a mission that I want to help as many women that I can, to really really find her own power and magic, because there's beyond, she's much more than the roles that
Just
she
just a
plays.
nurturer.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh God, my heart is racing again. Wow, this is like quite a lot that you are on a mission.
I am. I
Yeah.
started late, is what I feel, but yeah,
Yeah, it's
get
quite a
somewhere.
mission. And wow, this is like a holy work. Like I feel like you're a priest or a nun or something.
Yeah, I feel like I'm here for a purpose. I feel like I am a chosen medium of my God, the universe, the divine, whatever we want to call it, that I am the medium through which people will get help. And if I am able to help one person at one time, my job here is done. And that's what I am on a mission, and like I said, and that's what I want to do. Uh, and which is so different from the rat race that I was running, and I know it was a great job, and the peak of my career and all of that, but and I don't recommend this to anyone, don't get me wrong. I'm not recommending anybody to leave their jobs and go to the mountains or start something of their own and start healing, no. um, but but this is really has been my calling, and I feel like I really really should focus and do this, uh, whatever I can.
Wow. Okay. So this is like what you're doing for others. So what does Gargi does for herself, like a daily practice or anything? Because there's a lot of energy exchange happening out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So what do Gargi does for herself?
Yeah, great question actually, because you do have to do a lot. Because when you're dealing with a client, there's, like you said, there's a lot of energy exchange that happens, and honestly, it drains me out whenever we are dealing with a difficult situation, etc. It really, really drains me out. But I have to find my energy back to be able to show up for the next one.
Yeah.
So I do. My day starts with a lot of meditation, chanting that I keep doing, and during the day I keep chanting a lot. Do a lot of meditation, like I said. But um, one of the practices that I do is Ho'oponopono. It's You must have
Yeah.
heard about it. It's a Hawaiian practice, and it has really, really helped me get back my energy to show up for the next one.
Okay.
So that's one. And the other practice, which I think everybody should be doing, is practice of gratitude before you sleep. And it's such a in thing now, right? For everybody's talking about gratitude and everybody wants to do gratitude, which is a great thing. But you really have to feel it to say that I'm really thankful for what I have today, and only then you attract more and more abundance for yourself. So I feel I do that, and I say my little thank you prayer before I go to sleep. So that's what I do.
Thank you so much. Wow, you have enlightened us, like, truly today.
I'm
How
glad.
minute things that we just decline ourselves every day, think about, or go deeper inside. So, thank you so much for this enlightenment and
Pleasure.
these much huge, humongous knowledge.
No,
Thank you so
thank you.
much.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, like I said, and I really hope somebody somewhere gets some kind of benefit out of this, whatever we have spoken about, something which is very close to both our hearts, actually. And I really, really hope somebody hears what we had to talk about and benefits out of it.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
तो ये थी हमारे साथ गार्गी जी, आ, जिनसे हमने जाना कि कितनी सारी चीजें हैं जिसको हम अंडर द कार्पेट, साइड लाइन, डिसमिस, डिक्लाइन, एंड देयर आर सेवरल वर्ड्स फॉर इट. ओके, जो एक्चुअली हम, इट्स लाइक कमिंग बैक टू अवेयरनेस इन द सिंपल लैंग्वेज, लाइक कमिंग बैक टू अवेयरनेस कि कहाँ क्या छूट रहा है और कहाँ से क्या प्रॉब्लम, जैसे मैंने शुरुआत में बोली. तो ये एपिसोड प्लीज अगर नहीं समझ में आया हो तो रिवाइंड कीजिए और वापस से देखिए, और अगर नहीं समझ में आया फिर से रिवाइंड कीजिए, और जब तक नहीं आता है, आपको प्रोसेस नहीं कर पा रहे, तो बार बार रिवाइंड करके देखिए एंड मेक द मोस्ट आउट ऑफ इट. एंड इफ यू वांट टू कनेक्ट विथ हर डायरेक्टली, यू कैन गो टू आवर डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स, जहाँ पे उनके इंस्टा या numbers or whatever like information that we have, we will provide you and you can connect with her directly. For today, that's all. Thank you so much.